Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Quick Bites podcast for you. We've got some fun stuff to debate and talk about today. What'd you do this weekend, Riley?
This weekend, I guess last weekend. I'm so bad at remembering what I did this weekend.
Yeah, what day is it, Riley?
Thursday.
Okay, good.
Podcast comes out tomorrow, so
yeah.
It was pretty chill last weekend.
How's Dan doing? How's the knee?
Good. I was gonna say we had a handicapped dog, so
yeah,
we weren't doing too much.
Dan,
it's doing great though, so pulling through.
Super Bowl is encroaching. We've got some great games coming up. There were some good games this last weekend.
Yes,
really sad to see good old Tommy Boy get beat by the Cowboys. Cowboys looked good that night.
That was a surprising game to me. I honestly would have bet money on the Bucks, but
same. I did.
Yes,
bet $50.
Yeah.
Definitely lost my ass.
Yeah.
I ended up not being able to watch it because we were driving back from Sun Valley Monday night, and I was just really bummed to see when I got home, starting the fourth quarter, they were down by so much. Because I was like, there's a chance they could come back, but it's like the likelihood is very slim.
Well, did you see the Chargers-Jags game?
Yes.
That was a crazy comeback. I think it was like 27 points and
27-0, and then it was like 30-27.
Final
lost
was
by 1.
30. So,
whoo, that was a game. Yeah, Tommy Boy is. Do you think Tom Brady's retiring?
No, not yet. But it's like
he's going to the Raiders. I'm putting it right out there right now.
Yeah, you think so?
He's definitely going to the Raiders.
They
don't have a quarterback anymore. Derek Carr got released.
Well, he just left too because they were going to bench him.
Yeah,
and he just like dipped. They actually played better that game that he wasn't there. That first game back, they did a lot better than normal. I could see that though. I think, yeah, it doesn't. Does he have to like
Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers? We need you in Vegas.
Aaron's done.
You think so?
Well, it was his last game.
They said.
I mean, yeah,
he didn't officially announce his retirement yet,
true.
Riley. Come on.
I mean, they're old.
You remember what happened with Tom Brady last year? Yeah, I'm retiring. A month later, he's like, "Yep, I'm not retiring. I'm gonna go out there and kick all you young bucks' ass."
Real quick though, Cowboys need a new kicker.
Holy moly!
I honestly don't think I've ever seen that. I think he missed 4 extra points in a row.
4 extra points.
I was like
4 extra points.
They still won, but geez.
I saw all the memes of him like they put like funny faces over people trying to get access, and they're like trying to get access to the Cowboys facility Tuesday morning, and his like key card wasn't working.
It was like the face on the ball or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Also, did you see the memes going around about Mike McDaniels, the Dolphins coach, hitting his vape?
Yes. Did you think he was really vaping on the sideline?
I don't know, but
it looked like it.
I love that dude. He's hilarious.
Awesome. I hope he doesn't get canned.
Nah, he won't. He got the Dolphins to the playoff in his first season, so
yeah, that's pretty cool.
And the Dolphins,
he's like a young dude,
great.
you know?
Yeah, he's pretty young.
Late 30s,
top 5,
early 40s.
Coaches,
yeah,
because the Rams coach is the youngest.
Yes, that's right. Dude, they had a terrible season.
They almost held on, but okay. What are your predictions? Who's going to the Super Bowl and who's winning?
I am very bullish on the Bills.
Yeah,
love Josh Allen. Love Stephon Diggs. It's everything that's gone on in the NFL season, I think, is just, especially with DeMar Hamlin having that heart thing. You know, I think there's just what I've watched and learned in watching professional sports. I'll never forget, I went to Kobe's last game in San Francisco.
You did?
Against Steph and the Warriors. Yeah, the last time he was ever playing on that court before he obviously passed away, before he retired. I got to watch him play against the Warriors, and just watching the Lakers and the Warriors warm up. And this was the year after the Warriors won the playoffs, and just seeing like the culture and the fun and like their energy, polar opposite from the Lakers.
Yeah. And
obviously I think in professional sports, there's something to speak for, like culture in a locker room.
For sure.
And how important that is. I mean, at that level, 90% of those guys are good. It's just who can put it together.
Yeah.
You know, for 4 straight weeks through the playoffs and win the Super Bowl, especially in football where it's only one game. So I'm bullish on the Bills. I'd love to see Josh Allen win a ring. I think it's going to be the toughest game they've ever played against Kansas City. It always is in the championship. And obviously they'll run into each other in is it the AFC or the NFC? I don't know the difference between the two. Anyways, they'll run into each other before the Super Bowl. So
because we have
I think Bills Cowboys this week, and then
it's Bills Bengals,
Bills Bengals,
Giants Eagles, Jaguars Chiefs, Cowboys 49ers.
Right.
49ers getting wiped out.
Yeah.
Bengals probably getting wiped out. Giants and Eagles. Giants have been playing pretty well, but I say Giants.
I think Jalen Hurts goes on. So anyways, what's your prediction? What do you...
I think the Eagles and the Bills are going to the Super Bowl.
I like that. That'll be a fun game. High scoring, I think.
I don't like the Bills because they usually give my Dolphins a hard game to play, but I think they can do it this year.
Super Bowl's in Arizona. Yeah. Same weekend as the Waste Management Open. It's going to be nuts.
So Bree's parents live down there, and they're like, we're going on a vacation for this weekend.
Yeah, like you should if you live there. You should go down there and stay at their house.
We were looking at hotel rooms, and they were like thousands.
Just absurd.
Just crazy. I'm like, who does a Super Bowl and like the biggest golf tournament of the year in the same weekend?
That's smart.
It's
my dad's birthday this next week, and I was like, oh, I'd love to get him Waste Management tickets and like go with him. And then I was like, oh shit, the Super Bowl's that weekend. And it's this, and it's that. And I was like, oh shit, it's going to be madhouse in Arizona.
Dude, I don't even.
Madhouse.
I get really stressed out with like logistics and stuff, so I can't even think about it. But
especially Sunday night too. It'll be interesting though, because like obviously golf tournaments end Sundays as well as Super Bowls. Like, so I'm wondering if attendance will be really interesting at the golf tournament because it's local. You know, like people that are flying in to go watch the golf tournament, and they're like, it's blowout. Let's go to the Super Bowl. Or I wonder if that's going to impact ticket prices both ways. You know, like, hey, we're in town. Screw it. Let's pay $5,000 for a ticket.
Might be kind of nice though. Like for both events, like they might not be as busy as they normally would, maybe. Because I feel like the fans are similar demographic.
Yeah, because the Waste Management Open is an absolute party.
But yeah, that'll be interesting. So everyone that lives in Arizona, Phoenix area, good luck.
Yeah.
Scottsdale, Phoenix area. Because the stadium's in Glendale, I think, right?
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a difference.
It's a little bit spaced out.
A little bit of a trek. Yeah. All right, what do we got here? I wanted to pull up cheapest ticket for the Super Bowl on StubHub right now.
Let me guess. It is $2,500. Really?
Double.
Jesus, the cheapest ticket.
Upper end zone, $5,200.
That's the cheapest right now.
That's the cheapest right now.
I mean, do you think they were like a lot cheaper? When did they start selling them?
I don't know. I think Super Bowl tickets, it's all about who you know. If you're paying for a Super Bowl ticket, it's like, okay, you're kind of an idiot, you know, because there's so many that are given away to sponsors. Like if you're buying a commercial for the Super Bowl, like I think you get like 1 or 2 badges or like whatever they do for the Super Bowl. Let's see. Whew. Okay. So like 50-yard line, lower bowl, $1,600 a ticket, all the way up to $2,100 a ticket in row 19. It's pricey. Crazy. It's pricey. I really want to try and go to the Super Bowl next year in Vegas, 2024, baby.
That's right. Is it going to be in? Yep. That stadium's so nice.
Yeah, so I need to start making connections. And if you guys listen to the podcast that have a in at the Super Bowl in Vegas with the Raiders, see that's dude.
I sure as hell don't have
Tom Brady going to the Raiders. Raiders hosting the Super Bowl, 2024.
I think that'd be the first time the Raiders went since like the 90s.
Be so cool.
Maybe even the 80s.
So who do you got to win? I cut
this
you
year?
off. Yeah.
The Bills.
The Bills. You got the Bills
I said unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm not rooting for them, but
you are.
The New York teams did good this year, except the Jets.
Yeah.
Gary.
Yeah. Hate the Jets.
They didn't play terrible.
Dude, well, they got this like young quarterback in Zach Wilson that
fucking Zach Wilson, dude.
Banging moms. Jeez. But I don't think Zach Wilson is the guy. I think there's a level of arrogance there that isn't gonna. He's gonna be a backup for some team, kind of like Joe Flacco, where he's just like hanging around the NFL for 20 years as a backup because he's a good athlete. Like, give the kid some props, you know. But he's not gonna be a starter or franchise guy. Just don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's interesting to see. Miami the Dolphins had their third string in for the last game, so that probably affected it a little bit. Tua's got to
hang it up. Too many concussions.
He's going to... I hope that man gets some serious...
He's got to hang it up, dude. Like, I think he's got to stop.
He had 3 in a season.
3 in a season. So many people don't understand.
2 of them were within 2 weeks.
Some people don't understand. The same thing happened to Alabama twice, where he got up dazed and confused. And you like, that's like CTE written all over it in 15, 20 years, you know?
Yeah.
He's got to go. So Dolphins need a new quarterback.
He's so good.
Hopefully
though.
not Zach Wilson.
He's pretty good though.
Jalen's better. I think Jalen Hurts is better. They both came out of Alabama that year.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing what? Why am I blanking? Who's he the quarterback for?
Eagles.
Oh, that's right. Hurts.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting though.
All right, we're going to pivot a little bit on you guys. We've got some interesting info coming out about Albertsons. We're jumping to the stock
Slightly
market
local
today.
news.
Very local.
Yeah.
Albertsons headquarters is here in Idaho.
They started here, yeah.
Yep. Years and years ago. They've gone public to private, private to public multiple times
Dude,
now.
they are, yeah.
Those board dudes are like cashing out their stocks and all that stuff. But recently on the pod, we talked about how Albertsons was looking to get acquired. Kroger has written a very, very great offer. Albertsons has accepted that offer. There was some issues with the Washington State Supreme Court. There are some claims that, you know, in big business acquisitions, there's something that's called a monopoly. I know we've all played the board game, that the government likes to dip their hands in these deals. Whereas if someone has a large monopoly over a certain industry, they can kind of dominate in juristic pricing. So where that gets, you know, where this deal comes into play, I mean, Albertsons' vision with this is, hey, let's get acquired by Kroger. You know, Kroger owns Fred Meyer, some other stores. We're going to go attack Walmart and we're going to go attack Amazon, compete at that level. Albertsons isn't big enough. I mean, yes, they're a competitor of Walmart, but they're so small, they kind of need that help to go to the next level. The things that the government is looking out for is, okay, well then is it a duopoly between Walmart and them? Like, does Amazon count? So what's happened recently is the Washington Supreme Court has decided not to hear the claims from the state's attorney general against the Boise Bates Albertsons plan to issue.
So they're cool with it going through.
So the Supreme Court just said, we're not going to hear the case. There wasn't enough evidence, enough substance for the Supreme Court to hear the case. What's also interesting is Albertsons has decided to release a large dividend payment of $6.85 per share within this acquisition, yet they say it's not part of the acquisition, but I think that was part of it to pay out shareholders that had been investors, which $6.85 a share when
that is
$20, like a payout for me, like it's $3,000 to $5,000 payout. And I've invested in the company from the start because I'm just very bullish on Albertsons because I shop there.
Yeah, and dividends are usually, like, for those that don't really know about dividends or anything, it's usually a quarterly payout, and it's like
30 cents a share, 20 cents a share, maybe 6%.
So you're getting like maybe $10-15 a year if you own a good chunk of a company, depending, you know, it's percentage based on percentages, but that's a astronomical dividend. I know it's just a one-time payout, but still, if you own 50 shares, well, that's what,
50 times $6, yeah, $300.
And what's Albertsons stock, like 20 something?
It's at $21 right now because ever since the acquisition had been most likely approved, the stock went from like $34 down to $20 because it's factoring in that dividend payout.
Should I buy some?
I've bought more recently because I do think the deal can go through. So you had to own the stock in November to receive this dividend payout. So like, even if it's blocked right now, like they took the snapshot of the shareholders at that point in time.
Yeah.
So to compare for you guys that are new hearing about this acquisition and why it's getting blocked and held up, you know, one thing that's also going on that the FTC is like analyzing right now is the Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard. So like the gaming and the tech industry of, you know, they're also saying, hey, is this too big of an acquisition? Does it make one business way too powerful? I think it's good that we have this regulation that not one company owns everything. Like it happened, you know, in the steel industry. Like it can be good, it can be bad. I really don't want this acquisition to go through because I'm very selfish and I love the quality of Albertsons groceries and all of it. Because when Amazon acquired Whole Foods, I don't go to Whole Foods anymore. Just the quality's not there anymore. The store changed. They do things differently. It's just not the same.
However, I love dropping off my Amazon return without anything. And just
that is really nice.
But I don't shop there.
It's our wives.
Yeah, exactly. Also, one thing I was going to say is I'm pissed because the night you text me about Starbucks, I was going through my portfolio, adjusting things. I was like, all right, I'm going to put a sell order in because I think it's going to go here and then here. I still have to look at my chart to see if it's still falling what I think, but it was like 107 the other night, and I was going to put in a sell order for 108, and now it's at 104. So, oh well.
I told you it's going back down.
It doesn't really matter.
I've been in and out of Starbucks a lot over the last few years. Like I bought it at 90, wrote it up to 118, sold a bunch, whipped back down to like $88, bought more. Cause I think it's a $100 stock based on revenue models and obviously all of the things financial wise that I'm looking at, their store growth, things like that. Like reading their report has been really helpful to understand, like, if you look at the history of Starbucks in years past, when they've done these huge expansions, obviously they're not as profitable, so it hurts the company. So the stock prices usually drop down a little bit, but then once those stores get open and start operating,
kind of like the growth period.
Yep, exactly. And I know that they're looking to do a handful of new stores here in Idaho, and in their report, they said they want to open like 2,200 new stores across the nation. So I'm like, all right, that's going to be some capital expenditures out the door. So it's funny when you see that the stock goes up a little bit, and this is just like reading a chart versus like what information they're giving out. Me in commercial real estate know that they're about to spend, let's say, $1 million a store. That's $220 million of capital expenditures going out in the next 12 months with no revenue yet because the stores are still under construction. Most of them.
I was going to say, is that million or whatever that number is that constructing it, stocking the store once?
It's just like there's this phase in commercial real estate where you don't see returns for usually 3 years. You have to invest, you have to buy the land, you have to build the building, you have to get it, grand opening, 18 months to build something. By year 2, you've got open, it's going to take about 6 months to get operations stabilized. By year 3, and on, those numbers should be like, okay, now we're going. And so when you look at it from like a stock standpoint, if a company is opening a ton of stores, obviously going to, like, their net profit's not going to be as great, but they're setting up for future sales. Now, are they opening too many stores or not enough? That's what we have to like evaluate as investors is, did they open too many and all of a sudden the sales are not going to like withhold all of these new openings of stores? And, it's the same thing like Chick-fil-A. It's like their revenue per store is the highest out of quick service restaurants.
Did you watch that video last night?
No, I did not watch the
video.
No.
All right.
But I love Chick-fil-A.
I have a take on that when you're done.
Spin.
Well, so he was like, Chick-fil-A has 12 menu items and every other competitor has like 50. He's like, they have their chicken sandwich and they start incorporating more menu items. The $1 million a year from the chicken sandwich just gets distributed into this. So why can't we just keep it with one product, keep it simple, keep it easy,
makes operations so much easier. So it's
like Starbucks, if this store is doing $5 million a year and then they open 2 more, but then between those 3 stores, it's still just doing $5 million a year because it just pulls customers from other places. Like,
yep.
I'm sure they have all of the algorithms.
There's a lot of data metrics that go into the real estate play. And this is interesting you bring that up because that's one thing I like to pride myself on in working in commercial real estate in the retail sector. I have access to data. And when I work with clients, we talk about how opening a store too close to the other one is going to pull sales. Exactly.
Double for pretty much the same revenue.
The customer base. I did a demo with this really interesting company the other day, Placer.ai. If you haven't heard of them, it's pretty expensive for the data, but it tracks cell phone data. And so like we did a demo on one of our properties we own, and just in all of last year, 2022, there's 47,000 cell phones that pinged through that location. It's not one of our best, and it's not like
unique cell phones. Like new.
No, all in total. In total, 47,000, and then it can also go into the depths of like who stayed for more than 2 minutes. So like if there was a drive-through, there's a drive-through ice cream place there. So it's like, okay, we know that these customers, and then it knows unlimited metrics of like who shops for ice cream. Like it was just wild that now instead of doing like where 5 years ago, it was like, okay, how many cars drive by this location per day? It's these things, and we say this on every podcast. This thing is so powerful.
Yeah.
Use it.
Well, and I mean that's probably so much revenue. Like for like Facebook, a lot of the revenue is because we click allow, agree, and then they have all that info that they
Let's
sell.
not talk about Facebook. We don't like them anymore.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know what they're
I need
doing.
my account back.
Yeah. Blake's Facebook got hacked. Not a
Does that mean that I've finally made it in social media land when one gets like taken away?
I would say that.
But it wasn't taken away from Facebook. Someone hacked my account.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if it means you made it if you got hacked. I think it means you made it if there's like duplicate accounts of you.
Riley.
But to each their own.
Our roast video is going to be so good.
Yeah.
You
can't tell them yet. They'll have to see it. It'll be good.
It's going to be great. What else we got working on right now?
We haven't talked about crypto in a while. Usually you're the crypto guy, but I'm going to kind of take this one today.
Oh, I like it.
So since ETH went to proof of stake rather than
proof of work.
Yeah. Institutions are looking at it more now because instead of because before it was kind of like betting your money on like a contract, like an option contract kind of thing.
Right.
I'm trying to think of the word. I don't know. It just wasn't like stable.
Right.
But now that it's proof of stake, they're more stable yields, almost kind of set up like a bond in a sense.
Yes, that's true. That is
hold
true.
your crypto, you get percentages on it, but you can't touch that crypto that you're
ETH that you're
getting
time.
interest on or whatever.
Yep.
So now institutions are looking more at like ETH because they do that. It's a little bit more stable. It's not as not volatile, but it's not as risky because it's not like some like imaginary contract that might be there, might not.
Right.
So I think that's interesting. And yeah,
Dude, the crypto space right now is like wild.
I've seen so much shit lately that's like crypto's fake and a scam. It's never gonna work. Blah, blah. And then there's people that are like crypto's the future, everything. And I'm just like, Jesus, people. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
It's
either,
I saw a funny video the other day of like Bezos when he was 35 and cranking at Amazon, and like I think they had just gone public or something, and the stock price was like $4 or $3 or something crazy.
And it was at what?
And Bezos has this like funny laugh that's really obnoxious. You should look up a video of it.
I know it.
It's hilarious.
It's like a demon laugh.
Oh yeah, it's a total demon laugh. And to understand that, like when they were launching like Amazon to start, it was basically like losing hundreds of millions of dollars to start, but they foresaw a profitable model in the future, which I can't fathom. Like, hey, yeah, we're just going to go more and more and more into debt, but there's future earnings growth potential. Like if you're growing at 50% per year, at some point it's going to flip, But what I'm going to with that with crypto is like, it took Amazon 25, 30 years to grow what they are. Like we're only at year like 10 to 15 with crypto. And all of the shitty ones need to get weeded out.
They pretty much have almost.
Yeah. And one thing that's really cool that I want to touch on too is VFriends is like the most innovative NFT project still to this day. Logan Paul, get the fuck out of here. You scammer. I'm so glad I didn't buy one of those.
Did I miss something?
Yeah. Everyone's been bagging on him on his crypto zoo. Like he just raked in millions from his NFT launch, and it's like he's not doing any, and that's his crypto zoo one. His other ones, I have no idea what's happening with it. I haven't looked into it recently.
Oh jeez.
But anyways, what VFriends is doing that's super cool on the positive side is, so we always advise you guys to take your NFTs and your cryptocurrencies off exchanges onto what's called a cold wallet. So similar to when you link your bank account to something online, do you know how sometimes they'll send like, okay, we'll send a few pennies over to you and you have to verify that those are the charges. So VFriends has created this like disconnected portal that you don't have to sign anything, because when you connect your wallet to something, that website has access to your wallet. So that's where people's stuff's getting stolen. So what VFriends has done is if you have your Ledger or your Trezor or whatever it is, cold storage, and you connect it to their cold like link, basically they'll send or you'll send to, and you'll verify that transaction, and then it will link that way rather than signing access. So it's saying that you have it there. This is getting really in depth and really intricate, but I know that Gary and his team, VFriends, are like obviously going to make it super safe, as protected as possible.
For sure.
That's going to be the number one NFT project and still is.
Gary's the type of guy where if NFTs and Web3 went away, VeeFriends would still be prominent and still be a thing.
Yes.
Like
he'd make it work.
Because that's just Gary, man. Like he's not scamming. Like, yeah, he made
value,
a ton of money when he launched, but like he invested probably 10% of that into VCon and then here and that. Like he's not like a hoarder. Like he spends his money.
He's smart about it.
And Yeah.
So they had liquidated it, put it into USD, and then they're going to use it, which at the time you're kind of like, well, why would you do that? And now that it's coming in, it's like, okay, well, you would have lost 50% of your value. Yeah. You know, it's a smart business move to sell it. Yeah, there's taxable events that they had to pay, but now they can have this great thriving project based on a USD based system in ways. So it's
paid $20 million in taxes or not even have $20 million, you know, like.
I like it.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
Pod today.
I got to go hit a lunch meeting. Quick Bites
is growing.